Now this video is about my Kubota L3301 tractor and the modifications I've done since purchasing it about a year ago. One of the first things I did was incorporate my snowplow from my BX24 to the bucket, and you can see there that I've added the sawtooth type blade on the bottom of the bucket as well, so that I can easily dig out weeds and grab some earth when necessary. I also welded on these two hooks on the top of the bucket and a 2-inch receiver hitch on the top of the bucket as well, just for convenience for moving things around. On the battery, on the positive terminal, I added the lever to disconnect the battery whenever needed. So just keep the battery from draining. And I did some other mods that brought wiring up to the battery as well. I'll go over those in a second. I added this additional third function on the rear, to the rear of the tractor. You just pull this knob and the lever on the bucket converts to the actuator for the hydraulics on the rear. That was an easy mod. I just attached it to the underside here and ran the hydraulic lines down and under and kept them protected from any interference from weeds or whatever muck I'm going through. I recently added this small heater. That's one of the power lines to the battery. It's a direct connect with a 30 amp fuse. It's just a auxiliary car heater, and that works pretty good. And it takes the edge off. I can put my hands down there and warm them up if I need to. On the top, I added the canopy. It's a little bit longer than most canopies. It's not a custom made canopy, but I found a supplier that makes these a little bit larger than the typical, and you can see that I added the piece of plexiglass that I had laying around and some support stanchions for the front of the canopy as well. That was a simple mod, just tubing, and then I bolted it down to the bucket arm support, and then up to the frame of the canopy. And then these mirrors, I put them on both sides. They were like $10 on Amazon, so I just added those so I can easily see what's going on behind me. Add a little hat holder there too. Also put front and rear LED floodlights under the canopy to keep them protected. And then also when the front one shines forward, I can see not only beyond the front of the tractor, but also it illuminates the cab area as well, so I can see what's going on in the cab area. And then in the rear, this is the port location for the rear hydraulics that I chose, and I added this hydraulic top link. That's the reason I added the hydraulics in the rear. It's so much more easy to adjust the top link hydraulically than manually, and I do that quite often while I'm using the box blade. I didn't really need a top and tilt configuration because I rarely have to adjust the tilt. In fact, I don't think I've done it at all in the past year. I've got about only 67 hours on the tractor, but I don't know, we'll see if I need to think about adding a tilt function. I did also ballast the tires with the rear tires with what did I use for that? Oh, I forgot. But anyway, it doesn't freeze. It's not beet juice. It's antifreeze. It's just an antifreeze solution in there, and that was fairly simple process as well. For the LED lights that I mentioned a bit ago, I added these switches here, and they also operate whether the tractor's running or not. That's worked out really well for me, especially on the rear when I'm seeing what's going on at night. And I just ran the wiring down the side. For the lights, I ran it on the driver's side, if you will. And for the heater, I ran it down the passenger side, for lack of a better term. And let's see, I think that pretty much covers it. Very simple modifications, but useful for me. I hope you enjoy this video about the mods that I've done for this Kubota L3301.